My piece is called Desire Paths, and a desire path is a sort of the colloquial or common name for when there's like a set structure, like a path that curves or something, and humans or non-humans make like another track sort of on their own. And it's sort of like a kind of resistance to kind of like a kind of organized way of moving, I guess, in a way. One of the interesting ideas about it for me is that like a treading down of certain material over time that is like a collective kind of wish or tendency, even though it's temporarily displaced. So like many people over time make an alternative way. And I guess I was thinking a lot about my own tendencies when I was trying to make this piece, and I sort of find myself using different microtonal spellings of like a major second interval. And so I was thinking about like why I return to this territory all the time and what it would do to kind of make something by reiterating that material. It kind of creates like a larger spectrum of sound and momentum. I guess most of the piece is constructed around, you know, it would maybe be a stretch to call it a melody, but it's sort of a repeating pattern of intervals that are derived from septimal just intonation intervals. So using like rational mathematical intervals rather than like Western equal tempered intervals. And what happens particularly with like the cello, or something I enjoy about working with this kind of tuning system on the cello, is the fusion that occurs when like the interval's really in tune, generates this kind of like particular timbral sonority, and also generates like all these like extra overtone and partial information that then kind of like fills in like a larger spectrum. So in the piece, this kind of like collection of frequencies sort of repeats in different patterns and different registers. Then through the tape part, everything is sort of extended into this kind of like massed sound, which also has this kind of strange timbral fusion because it's using just intonation intervals. I started preparing the material at EMS in Stockholm because I knew I might run out of time otherwise. I wasn't totally sure what I wanted to do when I started making the piece, but I was sort of sure of what I didn't want to do, which is end up in a kind of like cello and tape karaoke situation. I wanted to sort of build the cello part with the electronics part in a way where they need each other, rather than make an electronics part and then sort of put a cello part on top. I do make sort of like electroacoustic collage concrete music, but I never really play it live. So this was kind of, I think, maybe like a timely invitation for me to think about making something that was specifically to be performed rather than just for a record or a sound installation or something. It's been kind of like a challenge to kind of figure out what that might mean for me, because usually when I'm performing the cello, I'm just like with the cello, and it's a very kind of magical, special space performing. Trying to find a way to be able to like enter that in combination with a tape part has been like an interesting challenge, and